Welcome back, everybody, to Nat One Nonsense. We're back at it again. And we actually have two people in person who normally play remote as of late. It's great because they came to a session that I'm going to hopefully have a lot of fun with. I what?
Oh, I got it. I was just gonna remember.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We're on. Yeah. We're gonna have a lot of fun today. At least I'm hoping we're gonna have a lot of fun. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and hop into it. We're going to do a recap of last session. Obviously, we were remote last session. We were unable to get the library. Um, Last session, you guys returned back from the Fae. You guys had defeated the Faceless. You guys had taken a long rest before you guys left. And Faramel had brought you guys back to the mysterious island, which is where you guys had left initially and have now returned. However, upon arriving, um, there was a lot of things that were different initially. You guys remember when you guys left that you guys were in a big open cavern that only had a giant crystal, which where you guys had freed Spine Splitter's mom. There was a dead uh, black dragonborn who was a mage that you guys had killed. Durandal, who was the guy that you were fighting for Spine Splitter uh, to avenge Spine Splitter's mom. And you dealt with Tiamat on the other side of the island and whatnot. But when you guys arrived to, um, when you guys arrived back into this cavern, there was a lot of metalwork and pipes and circuitry, and there was another giant crystal, but it was sitting in the midst of a um, very large kind of arcane circle with conduits on each corner of this platform. Nothing was turned on, but you guys appeared and you noticed that next to this large mana stone, there was a robotic humanoid that was doing work. He hadn't seen you at first, um, as you guys had just appeared. Um, but as I said, you guys, a lot of stuff was different. Um, Spine Splitter was not happy about this. Um, uh, but the moment that you guys realized that something was off, I believe it was Rec Deck first, as well as several other individuals, um, ran outside the cavern to basically find you guys were in the midst of a giant steampunk themed arcane city. Um, and when you guys came back, you guys were having a conversation with this um, robotic humanoid, and have come to find out that you guys were 100 years in the future. From
100, you said 40.
huh?
100?
No, it was 100. The captain died 80 years ago. Yeah, the captain had died 80 years ago. He was in books, but it had been about 100 years since you guys. Or no, my numbers are wrong. Captain died about 20 years ago. You guys, he lived about another 80 after you guys had disappeared. But it has been 100 years. I don't remember the exact number of what I said, what the actual year was. I wrote it down, but I didn't bring that notebook.
I wrote it down.
Okay. What year are you guys in?
So currently we're in 212 post-industrial era.
Okay.
Era five.
Yeah, 212 post-industrial era, or pi, if you want to remember. It's easy to remember that. But you guys were getting more information from I almost said his name, but you guys haven't asked his name yet. You guys were talking to this robot man.
Robot. That's his name.
Robot.
Robot.
Yeah, Robot. The TV is asking to restart.
Okay.
With that, Spine Splitter also finding out that you guys were now in the future, he flew to the other side of the mountain to find that the once relatively unoccupied. Yeah, that's the best way I can describe it. Relatively unoccupied altar of Tiamat, having been turned into a tourist attraction, which resulted in him frothing at the mouth and tearing apart everything in sight.
Jesus?
Yes. He did come back for a brief stint of time. I do also need to mention, no one noticed this until he was gone. But when you guys arrived back on the mysterious island, Faramel had been knocked out, tied up, and when Spinesplitter left to go see the altar of Tiamat, he came back, grabbed Faramel, and dragged his butt back to where where Tiamat altar is. Not knowing this and having a sinking suspicion that Spinesplitter was up to something, Sir Thomas started taking off in the direction what he thought was in the direction that he thought Spinesplitter had went, with Wreck Deck in fast pursuit. Basically trying to oh shit. The last part of this recap is a little bit sentimental, in the sense that Fearin was reunited with his master, Jiraiya-sama. However, there was something off about him. He was no longer humanoid in the sense that he had a fleshy body, but he was almost like an android. He was robotic. He looked very much, to kind of describe it, he had a lot of like his physical features from when he died were very prominent in this body, but he is very much like a warforged right now in how he is designed. But you guys had a reunion. Haven't really had much of a chance to talk, other than the fact that you found out that Jirai had been murdered. And he is still trying to figure out who murdered him. You don't know roughly about how much time it has been, but that is where this is left off. While Fearin and Kieran were talking with Robit, and Jiraiya-sama, our two knuckleheads, Book and Warren, were wrestling. I don't know what was said. You guys said some passive aggressive stuff, and then started wrestling around all the delicate arcane equipment. This is where we're going to start the session.
She did.
Yeah, we are going to start the session. Prior
Is that
to
Master Dry?
yes,
Okay.
yes. Prior
Did
to
you provide that?
starting this stream, I handed Warren a coin. On this coin is a success and a failure on one side. I need to open this real quick because this is going to determine how things go from here.
Oh, bastard.
So I
That
went
explains a lot.
I went based off of your guys' strength rolls. I went back and looked at these. And basically it was like 3 rounds of you guys throwing each other around. Warren, I need you to flip that coin twice.
Okay.
And you tell me what you've got.
Which is Thomas.
Wow, thanks for that. Really great advice. Jesus
All
Christ.
pressure
Oh
on
my
mine.
god.
It's fault
Can't
you.
even catch the point.
I'll say that if it didn't land on the ground, it doesn't count. I want
If it did not.
to. Sorry,
Oh,
if
it
it
did.
landed on the ground, it doesn't count.
Oh, we've been doing it a long time.
All right, twice, right?
Yeah, well, it's the first one.
Failure
So fair.
and success.
Success.
I'm gonna hand that back before I break it.
Look, I need you to roll, or I need you to flip it once.
Fail.
Fail?
that's 2 out of 3.
Okay.
I have a feeling you want to fail, even though you don't want to fail.
All right. So there's
I
that.
kind of thought maybe he read it as.
I now need-
Can I have a leg on it?
This is where a lot of the dice rolling is coming into play, because this can potentially result in some fun on my end that was based off something I heard in a podcast,
Uh-oh.
and I thought it was a lot of fun.
You should listen to Joe Rogan.
It wasn't Joe Rogan. It was not another D&D podcast.
Not
Lauren,
a D&D podcast.
I need you to roll me
That one
2
nonsense.
dexterity saving throws, one of which is with disadvantage. The DC is 17.
Oh, Lord. All right.
Can she see the effect?
No, this is not. I already know about. I already know about danger sense. I already know about the danger sense thing. This is because you guys are. If it was in the
I need to turn my
old
range off.
cavern, yes, but because everything is new to you guys in this place, I'm saying that this is the reason why. What did you get on your first roll? This is the one.
6.
6.
Okay, both at disadvantage, correct?
No.
Just the
Only the first roll was
Only
with
first.
disadvantage. The second roll is regular.
Oh.
Just
You see me. 11?
11. Look,
So it's about to bust some shit up.
I need your dexterity saving throw with disadvantage.
just one.
Yes. Yeah.
6 total.
Oh, so you guys are even.
Okay.
We rolled 3 tonight.
Okay.
Maybe pick
I have a
up
feeling that
this
this is already gonna. What is happening is already going to happen because you technically failed all 3 times. Warren, I need you to. This is going to be a D10 and a D8 roll separately because this is for me to figure out what is going to happen. Basically, I am crossing out equipment that you guys have destroyed.
Okay.
So first one is the D10.
3?
3.
Okay.
Okay.
And there goes the 0.
500 years in the future.
Okay.
Probably the robot is dead.
I need the D8.
Break it, you buy.
7?
7.
We got one.
And Book, I need a D6.
The one dice I didn't prepare. 1.
1.
Oh, no.
Research.
You wish it was a wild magic search.
I actually searched to break more stuff.
Come on.
No.
Is this an option? Because I have second mind.
Right. So I was telling my brother about this last night and what I was doing with this, and he told me to do this for dramatic flair. The first page was to figure out all the roles, but I turn the next page, and this is where all fuckery happens. Okay.
Counterspell.
You wish it was a counterspell.
Silver barbs.
You wish it was a spell. Double check.
Anything else we can handle.
I'm immune to fuckery.
Okay.
I'm a
You
immune to
certainly
product
not.
damage.
So these rolls are saved for right now for what is going to happen. I needed this to figure out what to happen.
I feel
You shouldn't take it up.
We're gonna go to Fearin. You have spoken with Jiraiya, and obviously he has basically emerged from like a healing, or this is like a stationary like resting pod to kind of keep everything, all of the joints,
You, baby.
yeah, basically, so that nothing like corrodes and things like that. And then
have to remember.
Robot, you guys will eventually get his name, but Robot, he's like, oh yeah, I used a Canadian accent for him. Yeah, so this here is Jiraiya. As I had mentioned prior, that this guy has I found him a long time ago. He had obviously he had been attacked and was basically bleeding out. And I asked him because at that time, I had figured out
I was crying.
a technology to effectively, I found out a technology that basically maps your neurological mind to then put into an android.
And gives you a big penis.
Yes, it does give you. Well, he specifically asked for this one, but I asked him if he wanted to continue on. I had asked him if he wanted to continue on living, and he said yes. He said he had a pupil that he still had yet to train some more, and he also said he had not quite got his fill on living in the carnal world.
He loves carnies.
Yeah. So he so I basically I mapped his mind and transferred him into this body. But yeah, no, this is Jiraiya. But I wanted to at least, let you guys catch up, but we do need to get out to the main area. I was doing some calculations and getting ready to test. I was getting ready to test my my research. I'm gonna go ahead and bring you guys back into the other room.
We could do every single, even Lord Nora.
I think one, but I read that wrong.
As of right now, the only people that are in this room, aside from Jiraiya, Fearon, Kieran, and Robot, are Ook and War. I'm gonna do a perception check real quick. Okay. He at first notices, he sees that you guys are kind of roughhousing. He doesn't know, like, at this point, you guys are no longer like kind of, I just put you guys there, but you guys are no longer really near the equipment. You guys are more like kind of rolling around his desk area right now. And it's this desk down here. So on the map, it's down here. So this is the desk he was working at when you guys arrived.
No.
So I'm going to tell you guys. So for you guys, for Warren and Ook, for your knowledge, because what is about to happen, it's not going to matter at this point.
Not consensual.
What exactly they're called, but I'm going to let you know exactly what you've damaged.
Are we gonna know the effect of what we've damaged or just what we've damaged?
We don't even know what it's called. How do we know its effect?
Yeah, you guys don't know what this technically does. The third one I'm going to save here for a moment. But the first one, you managed to damage the mana crystal. The giant crystal has a basically like mica stone. It chipped and it's sheer.
If I was there, I'd take
Oh, there's a sheer hole, baby.
Basically a portion of this stone, a chunk of it, like the like a plate almost. It's like about the width of like a dinner plate fell off when Ook threw Warren into the stone.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
The second thing you guys destroyed, and you guys somehow managed to make it all the way down here. I'm going to say that you started the mana crystal and you guys were fighting each other down by the machine that you guys see, those blue circular orbs to the left of it. Those are called mana storage units. Those are like capacitors. If those break, there's going to be a surge of energy.
And he's gonna turn the bath with a fossil wizard.
The third one I'm going to save for a minute because this first one I'm going to save because this is what's going to happen. As Finnegan,
Who's Finnegan?
God damn it, I didn't mean to give him his name. Robot, that's his name.
Oh, Robot?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, Robot's name is Finnegan, but
Okay.
but when you guys figure out, wait until you find out his last name. It's fun. But aside from Robot, Robot walks out and he happens to notice the damage. He notices that the mana stone has been damaged, and he notices that the mana storage units have also been damaged. In the moment that he sees you guys wrestling, it is a second too late to prevent you from doing this, because this is where the third thing that you guys broke comes into play.
Oh, the third thing.
By the desk that he was at when you guys arrived are all the power switches for the device. Warren, in the last ditch attempt to get a hit on Ook, manages to punch him, and he lands back against the table. And when he catches himself, he pushes all 4 switches down, turning the machine on. You see, at first, it starts. I'm going to bring you guys back there up to the next page, because you guys are going to see basically what this thing does.
They have to catch us first.
So you see this thing turn on. You guys see this thing turn on, and if you want to zoom in, you can kind of see it. The magic stone turns on. It becomes a very bright aquamarine color. The conductors start surging with electricity and basically channeling all the magic from the stone and pulling it. You see within this pipe that is just like directly south of this, you see all of the energy basically surging within this pipe, and it's literally almost like the essence of electricity just being channeled through this pipe, bringing into this machine. The mana storage units obviously are damaged at this point, but you see the machine turn on, and a white blue phosphorus beam shoots out from this machine, almost like an arcane cannon. And in a short, like 2-second time frame, you see it starting to melt the stone across the way, where you see the red forming. It is effectively melting the stone across it. However, you then see the mana storage units begin to smoke and sputter as they've been shifted off their conduits. And all 3 of the rear ones, there's 5 of them in total, but the 3 rear ones, when you hit up against it, shifted them, and all like the electrical wiring came apart. And you see them literally just static and shock and smoke, and then all of a sudden, boom, 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 all 3 of them go at the same time. You see the cannon is starting to shake. It is not able to process all the electrical energy that's coming from the pipe, from the stone. You see the magic stone, or the giant mana stone, where that sheared off portion of the rock. There are within the stone, you see these weird like arcane circuits within it, basically like pulsating with like white phosphorus light. And then you hear Finnegan is panicking, or Robot is panicking. He looks to Jiraiya. You need to get these biologicals out of here now. This place is about to blow.
Fear turns, looks up at Master Jiraiya. My time has come. I take to a knee and kiss the head of his massive engorged thing. You're not allowed to say that.
He does that, and after you do that, he then picks you up by the scruff of the neck. You see Jiraiya get a size bigger. He fully like goes from medium to large. He throws you on the back of his neck, and he princess carries Kieran. Literally picks him up and starts running in the direction of the far east exit. So this is what this is. So I'm going to turn this off so I can explain it. This is what is happening. This thing is about to overload. Literally full on meltdown. You guys have the only person that is not affecting is Spine Splitter. He's not here. You are the only one that is safe in this thing. For the 6 that are,
Those 2 left.
they left, but they're still
They're still
the,
trying to
the
find
whole
me.
laboratory is about to go, and I'll pull this map up here in a second. For to preface this, and Zach, if it doesn't work, I might need to ask for your assistance on this. I tried to make sure you 6 have this. You all have shared vision on here for an explored trail. If something ends up being a dead end, you will know it's a dead end, but then you have to backtrack. You have 10 rounds, which is where I'm going to need the 6 of you involved to roll initiative so I can keep track of this because
I'm not allowed to break this by saying I have distort image, so there's a duplicate of myself. I'm gonna break free Master Dry. It's my time. I then have packed weapon that becomes engorged, and I'm gonna take the energy of that crystal the way I did with your mom, and I'm gonna take it right.
I mean, you can certainly do that,
Oh, I'll
but
do
because there's energy basically powering this giant cannon.
Close.
So that was in my mind, and then I come back to reality as I'm on Master Dry's back bouncing along.
Okay. So if you guys can go ahead and tell me what you rolled for initiative.
24.
Oh, God.
24. Okay.
Ooh.
2.
Oh, wait a minute, I do have advantage.
That's
14 for Karen.
11.
11 for Kieran. What'd you get, Rectech?
16.
16.
How do rogues not get advantage?
I don't know.
Makes no sense.
Warren, what did you get?
23.
23.
You do have advantage though.
Book,
Technically,
what did you get?
22.
22.
Do you give us advantage on
I need to
initiative?
put you guys in order.
Unpack tactic.
That kind of doesn't give you advantage on initiative.
I'm trying here.
It doesn't be rolling.
Does
No one
your,
says
does your
anything.
aura give us advantage on initiative?
Sure.
Or not
If
advantage,
I was a
but-
different oath, it would.
Okay.
Oath of the Watcher, actually.
Oh, the aura
gives
of my
you-
master's
It's
giant
saving throws,
schlong.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Warren, you said 23, right?
Grandma's would disturb that.
After he described it, I need to be muted because that's almost on my head now. I want to stand on it at all times. And now that my master is twice as big, I'm like shorter than his penis.
Me move around like Doc Ock's claws.
It's like our unicorns right next to our.
You just stand on the
Kobolds.
front, just
For flavor, I'm going to start using my tentacle for my pack just so that I can have. Look, master, I can too. Cold attack. I left a mark.
How does Tracy handle this?
She has headphones on. Because since we moved to Thursdays, she literally, I closed the door. She has asked me to shut the fuck up. Like,
I'm in the game you're in with her.
she's happy that I'm there because she doesn't know the rules and she can defer anything to me and I'll make it all just go. It works out real well. It's exactly what I did at the
You
den.
should play Fear and then her table.
I promise you, my Tammy Faye is just fine.
All right.
I see more shenanigans with Tammy Faye than you.
There's a lot of crying. God, there's so much crying.
All
Oh
right.
my God, I can't
So
believe it.
this next map is kind of large. So if you need to zoom in where you
Oh,
are,
Jesus.
definitely. Yeah, you guys have this place is
It's
massive.
the map of Master Dry's cock.
we only have 10 rounds.
I can tell where the head is.
So this is you on that.
It really is. And I made AI art to look similar
So
and a gnome.
was the alarm annoying with how just piercing it was? Because I was gonna have it in the background, but if it gets annoying, I'll leave it.
You probably
Like-
just turn it down.
I did
down.
turn it, so that's okay. Okay,
It definitely sets the mood.
Yeah.
Motherfucker,
I will turn it up more, just so that it's a little bit.
Master
more.
Jiraiya.
All right,
Yes, my
so
son.
to explain what has happened,
Bless you.
you guys have 10 rounds. You guys can help each other in any way that is needs to be done. But you guys are trying to basically get out to where you guys were standing and seeing the city. However, you guys were taking your time when you initially found it. You were trying to get out of there. I mean, you were trying to just see where you're going. But the laboratory, as of right now, is in meltdown mode. For the first 2 rounds, you guys can use your movement, you can do dash actions, and so forth like this. On the 3rd round is when the actual mana crystal is going to blow. Now, the only people that are within the laboratory itself, like the circle portion of the map, if you guys are still in there, you will suffer damage from that because that's where the explosion happens. But the explosion is going to have a chain reaction of effects. The laboratory is effectively going to start falling apart at this point. On initiative 20 and initiative 10, there will be effectively like layer effects, not like layer action, but layer effects.
Let's
Yes.
run it.
Huh?
Don't spoil everything.
No.
Let's run it.
I'm not saying what happens. I'm kind of giving you a relative idea. So you have 10 rounds to get-
We have 10 rounds to get out.
Yes, you have 10 rounds to get out.
The brown is the
So I can
brown
travel.
edges of those walls we can see.
I can actually, if I
Like-
take those.
So yeah, the brown edges are
I
like
can
the actual
slip.
walls
I can
themselves.
travel
Like the
100
black
feet, so you-
is more just for the background. But there are
120.
you're going to-
if you were
Like me and him are in a room with one.
yes, you guys were trying to find it. You guys were in that room, and I said it was like a workshop to
Yeah,
kind of
no, that's
maintain. That's not what I meant to do. Because there is something I need to do.
Yes.
I can tell because it's.
When it gets to Sir
Dudes.
Thomas's and Rex's turn, I will say that when you guys get to
Chinese.
when you guys get here and you leave, let me know because I have doors on the or no, you actually should be able to see this. So when you get out, you'll be able to see this stuff. Remind me when you go to a certain point. I have things hidden in like fog, so I will have to reveal them.
Okay. So you run into a wall.
Yes. So the first person to go is Sir Thomas. You hear the alarm going, however, you don't know what has happened.
I say to myself, what are those idiots done now?
You're
I
on
just-
a course, right?
I'm just kind of sitting there staring at him like I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
For once, I believe you.
Yeah, I was like, I wasn't here to do this. I will say Spine Splitter, because you guys have that psychic connection, you are within a mile. You do you feel these. I know that you're obviously enraged and you're busy with your own project, but you do get a slight ping of panic from Rectech. Like something has happened, you don't know what, but you're getting a slight ping. But Sir Thomas, what are you going to do?
All right. So I don't yet know that I am not actually headed towards the exit
Yes.
from the end of last week.
We're in a dead end room right now.
Right.
Yeah, you're
But
in
do
a
I
dead
know
end.
I do know I'm in a dead end yet or not?
Yes.
Yes. You can. So the room that you're in. So it's you two here. Are you and Rectech are in this room? Oh, maybe. Yeah, that room right there. Those are you two. And like I said, this room is like a workshop.
Right. I had summoned my horse.
Yes, you are on
at the
your
end of
horse.
last session, so that means I double my usual movement speed.
Yes.
Automatically.
When you and Rectech entered this room, you did know that there were 2 hallways on the right and left. So when you ran through to this room, there was a hallway to the left and right of you, and you kept going straight.
Right.
So you can go back into this hallway, and that will get lit up.
I have to.
Was I able to summon Charlie?
Yeah, you're on Charlie.
Charlie!
Yeah,
Well, that was going to turn whether or not I was hanging off his horse.
I mean, if you want to hang off this horse, you're more than welcome to.
I'm
But
on my
Um,
majestic steed.
you are on a majestic steed. All right. So what are you doing?
I'm gonna
We're looking for
move
magical
back.
hair.
And,
Towards the lab, or
Towards the
towards the
lab.
hallway?
well, where are the hallways?
So the hallways.
Right here.
So when you ran
Yeah,
through
I'm
here,
gonna
you
move
saw.
back and stop by the hallways while and then I will. I'm gonna toss a coin.
Okay. I have the failure success point if you want to use that as well.
Well, no, I'm gonna have like.
No, no, first just failure.
Left is always right until right is always left.
Let's see.
Oh, except
Heads
if you're in
is
the southern
left and
hemisphere.
tails is right.
Do what?
Heads is
Because
left.
the
and
toilet
tails
goes the
is
other way.
right.
Okay.
That's my favorite bit.
Like, it's like I'm going left.
Okay. You're going left. When you exit this room, and you go left, let me go ahead and remove 3 points.
The default, that's his kidney.
Well, these are healthy, Eugene. This has apple juice in it.
Oh my God. Hold on, do they have
Yeah.
fiber?
All right, so
Sure.
you go,
There you go.
you go left. How much movement? do you do?
Monoglyceride fiber.
I have no clue what.
I will dash is my action,
All right,
and I don't know how much exactly I use going back to the hallway,
okay,
but whatever I have left out of 120, once I start heading down the hallway.
okay. Okay, so when you get to this hallway, I will also go ahead and light this one because you guys can see this when you leave. But yeah, so Sir Thomas, I will, my up with I was on select. So I will say that you go down here and you get to down here-ish. Let me see roughly how much movement speed that is.
Hey Jared, did you fix the, did you add everyone's initiative on?
No. I have everything written down here
Okay.
because
We're not
I
allowed to
can't-
see.
I'll keep track of you guys.
Well, this is bullshit.
I mean, I can add you guys, but it's hard to keep track of.
Nah, it's fine.
We believe you.
What do you mean the layer goes now?
Yeah, the layer goes now. Is that everything? Because you used the dash to get to where you were, right? Okay. I think you have like 20 more feet of movement, but you're waiting for people to come up like with you guys. Correct? You have like 20 feet of movement, but
Well, then I'll move the additional 20 feet.
I
I
have
want to try to
tips
see
this
if
way.
I'm in a dead end or something that looks like
Yeah.
it could be going. somewhere.
when you get down here, you do notice that if you were to go, so with how you're looking, if you were to go this direction, there is a door in front of you,
Okay.
and it is closed.
Okay.
It's kind of like those auto lock ones. It doesn't look locked, but it's like the automatic opening ones.
So Star Trek, Star Wars, okay.
Yeah,
Walmart.
again, derivative.
So up, or is it sideways, or does it roll? Come on!
Or does it? X-Men.
I don't know.
Next is
You're
war.
playing- You're playing two.
What's it going?
23.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's not
as a-
just your world.
yeah. So I need to move.
What was this?
You guys
the
are.
sound?
You guys are in here.
It is the sound. I can't help myself. There's so
Yeah.
much tension.
Ironically enough.
What are you
Sexual
doing?
tension.
Because you are here on the map.
Do I know? What's my
It's your
understanding of the
idiot,
direction?
Maybe.
What's my
Um,
understanding of the direction?
I will say that you heard Robot say to this other new one, because you've not met Jiraiya, but say to this other android looking individual that you guys needed to head towards the east entrance, like where you guys came in. So according to the map, you need to head this direction.
It's not as useless as I am with
It's a
each
big
class
entrance. I
more.
can tell that's where we started.
Okay.
It's tapered.
So the first thing I'm gonna do is Warren's just gonna go, whoops. And then I'm gonna start, whoopsie doodle. Are you wanting to?
Just go.
No, if you want to, I'll let it through my head. We don't have a bad plan, I promise.
Technically, it is worn and hooked. So you guys want to piggyback off of stuff, you're
Yeah.
more than welcome
I'll
to.
let- no, let's go ahead
Because
and
it's
start
literally
then.
worn and then it's hook in initiative.
Yeah, so technically, what I'm gonna do is technically hold my action for the
If you
moment,
just want me to do my thing, I'll
but
just do it
I
real
want him
quick.
to do his thing and then I'll finish up on mine.
Okay.
Since I'm still in Giant Smite, I want to throw her as far to the exit as I can.
Okay.
Pick her up, I guess by your foot, and just chuck her.
Give me a strength check. I need a strength check and then a dex check from one.
19.
19.
Just regular dex, not.
Yeah, just a regular dex check.
22.
22. Okay, you land perfectly on your feet. It's very cartoonish. He throws you and you're running in midair to just kind of get that start.
All right, how
So
far
yeah.
did I go?
I'll say he throws you 30 feet.
And then, 1 second, I'm just gonna measure myself up.
Should be right there.
Very good.
Fucking. There.
Yeah. And then Warren's just gonna like look back and say, "You coming?" And then keep running. Dash out.
And then,
Let's go destroy more shit.
yeah.
After I throw her, I look to the to rub it. And then I get a giant smite and summon my unicorn.
Okay.
I'm waiting to summon my unicorn until we get outside.
Okay. All right, we'll go ahead and decrease your
Oh.
size.
I actually have a question,
Yes.
No.
and this can apply to like the next turn if it needs to. I'm gonna try to trip Luke as we're going out.
Oh gosh.
Could you trip my unicorn?
So you have.
I'm 30
So
feet
you
ahead.
use
of
your
them.
you use your action to summon your unicorn. Because yours is a small unicorn, its speed will be a little bit decreased because it's got to run farther. I think unicorns have 60 speed.
50.
50. So you're gonna have 40. So it's only gonna be like 10 feet.
Monster.
You got little legs, man.
Fine.
But you can get 10 feet ahead of Warren. Is where you're gonna be.
Can I use my bonus action to have a dash? Since it technically should take its own turn if it.
To summon Charlie?
No, to have. I don't have Charlie. That's him.
Or no. Well, yeah, you never named your unicorn, but you.
He's just a copycat. All unicorns are named Charlie.
No.
Sorry.
Should have its own turn if it's working like the summon steed spell you said.
Oh, okay. You said you're using your dash.
Yeah, it's gonna use its dash to
Okay.
extra 50 feet.
Alright, so he's gonna be here. We're gonna put you just two together. Yeah, you see Ook throw you, and then speed past you on his short-legged unicorn.
You're coming. Not too.
Okay. Next is a lair.
Ah shit.
Really, too.
This will affect everyone. It is not location based. It affects everyone.
I don't identify as a location too.
Okay.
We see spines.
Or no. We have we have 2 rounds. Sorry, the thing has not exploded yet. So we have 2 rounds. So I'll hold off on that.
goodness.
Next is Rectech. You are in the room. Sir Thomas has left, and you saw him book it left when you left.
Me and Charlie are gonna dash and I'm gonna follow Sir Thomas.
All right, so you are going to be down here with him. You as well see that there is a door when you're coming at the end of this hallway. There is a door on your right. It has not been explored yet in the sense that you don't know where it leads. You would have to approach the door for it to open, and then you go through, but you don't know what is on the other side of this door.
I'll stand in the doorway.
So it opens. All right, so that one opens. Two. Okay.
Said she was smart.
All right, so you see that it goes to the end of this hallway and then it turns left. But you don't know anything further than that.
I'm gonna add to the chaos and like I'm panicking. I'm gonna yell at Sir Thomas, "Where do we go?"
Things are going horribly wrong.
See these little kobolds going like this.
Oh, it's great. This is the reason why I did this interaction, because I wanted to see what you guys would do.
We're stupid as always.
My brother told me to tell you guys, you guys, obviously, my brother told me it's just like, he's like, you guys were having fun. Yeah, but chaos has consequences. And I'm like, interesting.
Somebody's been saying that all along.
consequences.
Yeah, chaos has consequences, apparently.
You
guys
say
were-
consequences, I refer to them as rewards.
Well, yeah. Is that your turn? Or
Yeah.
you're just standing in the doorway to make sure that it's open, correct?
Yes, yeah, so I can see
Okay,
down.
yeah, so it's open, and you can see at the end of the hallway, and that it turns left. You see that bank's still left. But that's your turn.
Mhm.
All right. Next is Kieran. Kieran, you're in the arms of Jiraiya-sama, who has gotten much bigger. Like, he reminds you of Ook, how he just kind of you heard metal shifting and just and it just like his chest got broader, and he looks like a bodybuilder now. He's just
Does he notice what's hitting him in the behind every step he takes?
he's not started running yet.
Okay.
So with it, you can either choose to stay in his arms like a princess, Gary.
How fast are we going?
So with this, Jiraiya now has 40 feet of movement, so he can dash and go 80.
Oh, okay.
Because he's just regular 30 feet. Or sorry, he normally has 40 feet of movement, but now he can go 80.
I think I can beat him by 20.
Okay. So if you decide to, you can get out of his arms and run. And we can go with that. You don't know what is happening. You just heard Robot say that you needed to start making a break for the exit on the other side of the room.
All right. Say, would I be allowed to? I can get an extra 10 feet of movement if I rage. Can I rage at any moment in this point, or?
Yeah, you can. You definitely can rage
Can I
for
get
this.
an extra 10
It will
feet?
help for any kind of athletic or acrobatics checks, which there will be some further on down the line.
Okay.
The 10 feet will help you. I will say, obviously, to maintain your rage, you might just have to punch yourself. It won't be much damage, because obviously you're doing unarmed
I'll
strike.
run into the
Um,
wall.
2024 rules, all he has to do is maintain his rage by burning his bonus action.
But he uses the
Okay,
bonus action
well
to
then,
use
yeah,
it.
we'll just do that.
If he uses his bonus action, he falls out of range. That's just how that works.
Yeah.
If I fall out,
It's called action economy. Good luck.
If you said you can go how far?
Free
okay,
action.
if I'm at 40 feet right now.
You're at 40 feet now. You can dash, which will put you to 80. And if you said you get another 10 when you rage.
Another 10 feet.
All right, so you can go 90.
90.
All right. Man, you can run real fast. All right, so that'll put you right
Are you
there.
comfortable where you at, or are you going on my back?
Seeing I can outrun everybody at this table without trying, I ain't worried about it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, why is he the one being carried?
I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to fall. Like,
He didn't. So when he met Jiraiya, he wasn't a full-fledged monk yet. He was like Naruto. He was like Naruto before he became a ninja.
weirded out by his obsession, and then later on, strangely interested.
Yeah. All right, so that's your turn. You dashed. You went into a rage for your bonus. And you went 90 feet. All right. Next is Fearin. As of right now, you were on the back of Jiraiya's neck. Are you just gonna get off and start running, or are you gonna stay up there and re-embrace your master?
He gets down and just pushes Jiraiya-sama.
I whisper in his ear, I told you it's my time. I dash in the direction of this crystal. It is my time.
At the crystal?
I am going to be the one to absorb its greatness. Through the greatness of my pact, I have got a big thing that I'm dedicating.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna die. It's been great.
Wait till you see how much damage it does when it blows up.
Oh, I'm working on how I'm gonna bullshit over out of this, but right now this is the best action I can think of.
It's making a mistake in his own mind.
It's a Mai Tai.
Mm.
But is that your turn? You just run.
Yeah, I'm
to-
running.
Okay.
And while that's going on, my packed weapon is developing, and I am taking my bonus action to get the poison ready so that she's good to go for what I need to do.
Okay. But that is your
That is my
turn.
turn.
Okay, that is your turn. Back up at the top, it is Sir Thomas. This is round one. Round one is done. Like I said, after 2 rounds, that is when the thing blows.
Hey, brother, this could be our last
And
time.
this is when lab effects or the effects of chain reactions are going to start happening.
Usually with family, you want to keep it too long.
Yeah, that is what's cool about incest, though. It is a game that everyone.
Sir Thomas.
Everybody's down.
So you
Try.
can see,
Game night.
you see that Rek'Tek is right next to you. He is standing on, or he's riding his unicorn, in the doorway that you had seen. And you see that it does bank to the left at the end of this hallway, but you can't see past it. You would have to explore it to know what is down there.
Okay. And there's still a door blocking me? Or
No. The door is open right now. Rek'Tek is
He took care of that.
obviously it's not technically the map is not big enough, but you can get past Rek'Tek. It is large enough for you to.
I will
Shimmy up.
use.
Can you see down to the right?
Yes, if he's down there, he can see down to the right. Let me thank you. All right, so you can see all the way down at the end of this hallway.
Okay. I will move past rec deck and go to the end of what I can currently see,
Okay. So you go here.
and then tell me
Um,
if that reveals any more.
You do see you see another small hallway that leads into you see another door at the end of this. You see another door at the end of this, but you don't know what's behind this door.
Okay,
Oh my.
I will go down that hallway and try to open that door.
Okay. The door automatically opens up. Oh, that is not what I needed. I needed to reveal the fog. And you are standing in another room. There are no other hallways at this, but you do see that this has a lot of like basically like nuclear waste, like all the old like mana storage units that were like failures in order to keep the energy contained.
Okay.
These are all broken devices here.
Okay, I'll say dead end here. And I will turn around, use any remaining movement I have. I have up to 120 feet, and go past rec deck if I have enough to do that.
Did you get off your horse to go
I am-
explore this?
No,
Okay.
I would have reached down to try to turn the knob on the, try
Right.
to open the door.
I'm trying to figure out how much. So 20 feet from where you were, 20 feet to where you are, or sorry, 40 feet from where you are now. So that's 60 to get into this room. So you said you have a total of 120?
Yes, I go right back.
Yeah,
to
you
where I
go.
started.
Yeah, you're basically right back next to Red Deck, and you let him know that this was a dead end.
I just panic some more, some screaming.
Right.
Oh, and I'm gonna say, check the other door, you know.
Right. It is. I'm actually gonna go ahead and put Terry's up so I can keep track of the rounds. But is that your turn? All right. Next is Warren.
Thanks for
Again.
that vote of confidence. I'm gonna summon Leo.
Okay. Is that your unicorn?
Yeah,
Yeah, Leo the unicorn.
Leo, look, his full name is Leo Third on the third.
Yeah, that's right. Leo Clark on the third. Yeah, Leo Clark on the third. Charlie. And did you ever name your unicorn, or he's just unicorn?
It doesn't name things.
So are
Company.
your huh?
Company. Misery loves company.
That's. I love that as a player, but would Ook know this? Just out of curiosity, would he know that Misery actually loves company?
Has he given anything a name yet?
No.
Exactly.
So what are your helpers' names? 1, 2, and 3?
Jim, Dim, and Flim.
Jim, Dim, and Flynn.
They had to tell me that.
Who have been
Wow.
who are MIA for the past 100 years.
Oh yeah, yeah they are.
Dead on the ship.
Which is
Hiding
your
from
ship
us.
is somewhere, or your sword, your rusty sword is somewhere on that ship.
Oh no, I'm pissed.
It's probably encapsulated in like a glass case. Or...
Yeah.
You're gonna find it in the
It's
museum.
like it's a magic weapon.
All
The
of
only
heroes with
artifact.
Ook.
It's a magic weapon, but it does minus damage. All right, Warren, what are you doing
This ship's
aside
a
from?
attraction and everybody hears screams, but it's actually just your little minions.
Yeah.
Question.
Yes.
So what I want to do is
mummified bodies are
I want to keep going. I want to try to keep getting
Okay.
out. Following sort
What
of
is
everybody
the
else.
speed of the unicorns again? You said
50.
50? Okay.
But on the way, I don't know if I can reach down and do this, or actually, can I try to see if I can
Right
make
back.
my unicorn try to kick his unicorn's ankle? As per
Oh, like if you're running past, you're trying to see if the horse, like what horses do, which is
yeah.
yeah, certainly.
We're all
So
gonna die.
unicorns have telepathy. Do you tell your unicorn that? I'll say as of right now, they can have basic speech with
Come
you.
back from the dead.
So they can
Roll with
understand
them.
relative commands when they level up with you. I'll say that this is for flavor. When you guys leveled up to 11, your unicorn also leveled up. So this is where the telepathy came into play.
Okay.
So you can hear it just be like,
We have these big
Why-
plans.
it's
Really
like,
just them
why
fucking
loud
around.
noises?
perception.
We gotta get out of here because of the loud noise. Let's beat this
But we
little
only
shit.
think it's something.
Get a split.
And then after game, we
I
find out it's
didn't
just
like
an
him
empty crap.
anyways.
Wait, this what are you talking?
He's or she's having her unicorn
Kick your
kick your unicorn. I don't know what the AC of unicorns are, but yeah. So you come up next to Rectech,
No.
or yeah, sorry, Ook,
They have
and
an
their horse.
AC at 12.
AC of 12. Go ahead and have your go ahead and have Leo make an attack roll.
You better roll better than I should.
It's not going to necessarily do damage, but if you get a successful attack, it's going to be like a dexterity or an acrobatics check to stay standing.
Okay, hold on. To attack,
The
right?
+9, you hit. 7.
Where do you get that?
So,
Blind?
it's right down here.
Oh, that. 18.
18? Okay.
Fix. I was like, where
Give
is that?
me. So if you guys are going to keep doing this, we'll say that it's either a dexterity save or it'll just be an acrobatics check. Or it can be athletics, whatever is better for the unicorn stats. For the unicorn stats, we'll just make it a basic 14 DC check, whatever you want to use it for. Like I said, it can be a dex save, it can be an acrobatics check, or it can be an athletics check. I'm not going to make it a strength check because basically, small unicorn is trying to stay up.
19.
19, yeah, he stays up. He kind of kicks it, he trips a little bit at first, and then he just like recorrects himself and full on looks at Leo and like takes a bite at him. Just to like keep, not like an attack, but just basically to just you stop that.
Oh my god.
Is there anything else you are doing, Warren? Because you didn't have.
I moved my 50 feet.
You moved your 50 feet.
If I can dash for my full action, I mean, that'd be fine. But that's all I want to do at this point.
You can use. I will say because so with this, I will say that because you commanded. I'll say that this is how this worked. You commanded your unicorn to attack. It will not allow for you to dash.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
so you had your 50 feet of movement.
Awesome. Okay.
So you are in the hallway with. Is there anything else you're doing?
No.
Okay. Oh, it is now your turn.
I'm gone.
You're gone.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm running up the hall because I see them down there.
Okay. You see them down at the end of the hall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Move. The company is gonna dash, and seeing them down there, I'm gonna instinctively go up.
Go up.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
up,
north.
back up.
North.
Here.
North.
Yes.
Oh, so you went down and then back up,
No.
or you just went up?
I went up seeing that they were down
Okay.
there.
He went to the intersection.
Did you
saw
dash
us,
or
went the
just
other
using
way.
your 50 feet of movement for right now?
Dash.
Okay, so you dash.
80 feet
Let me
total.
see. I'm trying to see how far that puts you, so that I know how much to reveal. So it's 100 feet
80.
or 80.
'Cause you're a dick.
You suck. Going back to Jordan's table.
Say,
It's cold.
So why don't you give us a diary?
I said technically you can have dire weasels. You just gotta get to them now.
You
They're
said
all
when we
dead.
got back from the playground.
They're all being ridden
Yeah, you
all
are.
over the city.
Yeah, you
No,
are.
no, the ancestors of the original dire weasels are freaking there now. Yeah,
Okay.
in Redmond. I noticed them. They all look cross-eyed and have little weird limbs. They hadn't read too much.
Jordan would have given us then to us in the Fey round.
Look blue.
That's
All right.
being
So
rode by
that
even
is where
more
you make it.
blue-skinned kobold.
That is after 80 feet of movement. You do see that there is another door. You do see that there is another door up and coming on your left.
Teleport out.
It's not letting me.
Which is
Suddenly Proteus appears. This is so easy.
All right, so on the TV, so the door is right here. It's for some reason it's not populating. It might just not have it.
It's because you haven't revealed enough.
Okay. Go ahead and do that then. So you can. There. Okay. So you see that it goes left, but it is a closed door. And then at the very end of the hallway, you do see that the hallway banks right. But that is for your next turn. Where you're at, that was your full movement. But this is what you see so far. You see that it banks to the right and that there's a door on your left. Is that everything?
Sure.
Okay. Next is Rective, because it's not the end of the second round yet. You heard Sir Thomas say that where he went was a dead end.
Mhm. I'm going to yelling the whole time, and from the speed of my unicorn, like wacky inflatable
Man?
yeah, on the back of my horse.
Okay.
I'm gonna run 80 feet to this door so it opens.
Okay.
Look at that wreck, keep attacking.
Can you go any bit further after that? Like, do you have 5 more feet of movement or something?
I've got
He
20
falls
feet.
forward
I've got
5
20
feet.
feet of move.
Okay. All right. Let me see where that. All right, so that door opens. You
Stay back.
see that. You see that it comes up to at the end of this hallway. You see that there's another door, and that there is an intersection here. There's a 4-way intersection of this hallway. That it banks left and right, and then it also goes straight where there is another door.
And
Fireball.
that's a dead end to my right, right?
No. Where it is right, it banks left. Like there's another hallway that. So if
So
you
this
were to
goes
go
north?
here, yeah, if you were to go here, it goes left
Okay.
into another hallway
Right.
that you presume.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Left, right, left.
I'll go there then.
Okay, so you go there. All right. How much? How far can you see, like vision wise? What is your? I mean, not normal dark vision, but what is like your actual? If you were using dark vision term, is it 60?
So really is, you can only see 60 feet ahead of you in light? Are you talking about in lit hallways, like when things have light? Or are you talking about special vision?
special vision?
Special vision has a limitation. Light has 120 feet technically.
Oh, then yeah, you'd be able to see.
I'll say, yeah, you can see, as long as there's light, you can see as far
But I've
as.
got glasses for
obstacles blocked.
disadvantage on perception. That's not my mom. That's
When you bank this corner and you're going left, you see that it extends to the very end of the hallway and banks left. But there are 2 doors or like 2 so there are 2 openings
yeah, there are.
through on the right side of this hallway that you assume are either additional hallways or more doors.
I'm gonna turn in my saddle back to Sir Thomas. Yeah.
I would say Spice Splitter, you're getting more and more of a panic feeling from Ook. Just more, or sorry, not Ook, Rectech. It is building.
Part of this is actual panic. The other part is just Rectech's need to overemphasize things and escalate.
It's not that bad yet, but I'm still acting crazy.
and escalate things
How
unnecessarily.
dare you? So basically, the opposite of what you do as a cop.
Yes.
So yeah, you see those two
Probably why we're doing that.
hallway
Don't get
openings
to
on the
it.
right side of this hallway, and then it goes all the way to the end and banks left. That is your turn.
Yep.
Next is Kieran. You are still technically in the lab back here. You are here on the map.
This session is amazing.
Let's just do.
You're welcome. I've been planning this for 3 days. I'm so glad you failed 3 times on your checks.
Otherwise, it would have been wasted.
If you wouldn't have rolled the 1, which was the power switches, there was a chance that this didn't happen. Because basically, Robot could have gone up, saw everything happening, saw that the mana crystal had been damaged, saw that the capacitors had been damaged, and then just not thrown the switches, and then basically started fixing things.
Stop lying. It had to happen.
It had to
Yeah.
happen.
It
I
was
think,
fate.
yes.
It was meant to be.
It was the fates.
It is my
The
time.
dice said it was worth it at this point.
So
All his
I'm not gonna. I'm gonna fall out of the raid.
You're gonna fall out of the race.
Yeah, because I got a dope bonus.
next campaign.
burn a
His
bonus
detective
action.
Yeah, burn a boat.
whatever.
So
Well, the bonus
Yeah, I
action
like
is
that
a
one.
free action. It's just you can't do like a reckless attack or anything like that, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
okay.
you're
I
not
thought
really
I had to
taking
mark
attacks
it
right now.
each time I wanted to
No,
continue.
no, no, you just
Okay.
burn a bonus
no,
action.
no. You're just
Okay,
using
we-
a bonus action to continue your rage, not
That would be freaking
earn
awesome.
another rage usage.
Okay. Is
So
there
you
any?
can stay in your rage and still have your 90 feet of movement.
Yes, that's what I will do then.
All right.
They're not using that.
I will say with where
Uh-huh.
you're at, you saw both Warren and Ook on their unicorns running off. You saw Ook make a left, but you have not seen Sir Thomas or Rekdek. So you don't know where they're at in the map from your
I haven't
perspective.
touched on
But you saw Ook get to the doorway,
Yeah.
and make a left.
He made a left at the board.
I tried.
That's the best thing that I can do. I can go ahead and just follow him.
Okay.
You save these for
You need me to roll for anything?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Right now, it's just you guys are trying to get as much distance as possible.
You need as deep in as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got no more movement.
Right, so you basically get to 9 feet. You get basically right next to Ook, just running. Because this puts you at 50 here in the four-way, and the other 40 puts you right here. And that's where the 40 puts you.
Nice.
Jeez, Pete, I didn't realize you could run so much. You guys will probably still need to find all the exits and stuff because things obviously will still
Not worried
happen.
about it.
There'll be no need, my friends.
Exits
Okay.
plural?
Exits plural, there are two.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Also,
Well,
plural
I will
entrances,
make my own.
if you use your imagination.
Theron, it is your turn.
How close am I to what I want?
You are right next to the mana crystal with where you dashed.
I run in a circle around it.
Okay, like
And,
Joshua.
I do-
The reason being is that I'm using evasive filter to add 6 AC to myself.
Okay,
That's where that one is.
Okay.
Bracing for impact.
yeah, you're bracing for impact.
So as I'm moving,
What kind of-
I present my weapon as. That's good timing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Presents my
As I begin to
I wanna make
gain
sure the door was
speed,
shut before he continued.
my prepared packed weapon, influenced by my master, takes on a baseball bat-like shape. As I come by, I make sure not to stop moving. Well, just hit the entrance. Make sure I find the shear that I'm gonna need. I tell the crystal, it's been a long time. And thanks to Master Jiraiya, I shall prove I am worthwhile. One more smack.
Oh, man.
I need more
How many
details.
D100 is this gonna be?
This is for you, my dear Calypso. May you be entertained by the joyous amount of pleasure I shall give this crystal
I didn't think
through the
about
means
that.
of oration, not oral. Library.
a mistake. That was a mistake.
As I do that, it hits one more time excitedly.
Him to
I got the best.
8.
Kind of soundproof, but not fully.
As I walk
I
away,
need to see if I have enough
oh.
D10s for what is about to happen.
I then thrust on the way through.
Make sure it's squinting when you do it.
Scream its name. Scream its name.
I shout out, by the power of Master Jiraiya, for the love of Calypso, I penetrate thee. And I do a double wham of unarmed strike. See, there's a 21 to hit and a 24 to hit.
Smiling.
Mhm.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
I want you to see how many D10s are in that.
That ain't shit.
I want you to see how many D10s are in this.
I mean,
Warren.
That ain't shit.
there's a lot.
That ain't shit.
Oh, God.
Remember,
Okay.
we did this. You sped it up.
Love it.
Actually, no, I need 3 more.
Very
No
neat.
problem.
I got the.
So
That's 26 bludgeoning damage from my magical canine.
I could do both.
And then that's my poisoner, so that's another 24
I
poison.
have 135 HP, so. as long as people
Flurry
are
of
low-
blows as I ram fire more. When I say that, that's my key point getting
You
burned.
need some more details?
I've got them.
I know you did.
Another tiny one, but aside from like the percentile dice, which I could use technically,
Yeah.
I've used all of my just regular D10s.
So this is where I can be really a dick. And because
You're
of what
wrong.
I've done, I actually have room when I can leave the room.
You could
I
technically.
could, I've got a lot because of what I've done. I've got an extra full 80 foot of movement because of what level I am with the monk. But I'm not going to.
You're just gonna take it.
It's for the
Well, he's
pleasure of
gonna give it to
Calypso.
He's not
As
gonna
I
give it,
finish
he's
my
gonna give it.
turn, you watch my eyes turn black. I start to chant to my sea goddess. You can sense the you can sense something. It's growing. That'll end my turn. That's a total of 71 points of damage.
Oh yeah, you destroyed the mana crystal, and it causes it to overload. I'm going to tell you this right now.
Literally.
The sealing stone that you did this to back on the ship is nothing compared to what is happening.
Good deal. So what kind of damage is this?
This is both fire and force.
I had an idea. It will not work with those damage
Deflect energy.
things. Along with the shrapnel. I want to be like redirecting missile.
I will say with the force damage, you can direct 3d10 worth of this damage.
Actually, I gotta look at my Renekton ability to do something.
Deflect energy, I'm pretty sure just any damage.
Yeah, level 9, you can deflect everything but psychic.
Yeah.
Or no, you can deflect everything.
A whole lot of high numbers.
Good. I deserve it. My goddess will be entertained. I shall live between her breasts for all eternity.
It was a poor time to introduce his character arc.
I know.
And
This
Jiraiya's
wasn't how it was
gone.
supposed to. Jiraiya gave me meaning. This is how it goes. I come back as a,
We're gonna explore your backstory. I killed myself.
no. I come back as a Warforged. I'm just like Jiraiya. Now we're gonna figure shit out.
Warforged Kobold.
Yes. With the big-
Now I do want to play a Warforged Kobold.
You guys go back to the lab.
Oops, all robots.
How do you guys is stealth?
Yeah, you can do a Warforged Paladin.
Yeah.
Actually, there was a kid that played.
We all
Warforged.
get kidnapped and put in the Matrix.
Oh,
and we're all-
You remember?
Yeah. Oh, he was awesome.
Can we do a Tron
Phoenix.
arc? Where we all get plugged into machines and we're in the AI system. We're all robots.
Oh, we're playing. We have to use Chat GPT for all of our decisions. Like, yep, that's what I'm doing.
Our unicorns get cybernetic upgrades.
They become the Tron
I
lights.
don't know why it made me think of this, but why is doing this? Has anybody seen Cape Fury? Did
Yes.
you see the trailer for the new one?
There's a new one.
It's like 12 minutes long. You can watch it afterwards. But it's
No. He's doing that.
Michael Fassbender's in it. Arnold Schwarzenegger's in it.
Which one is it?
What's it called?
Big
For
Fury
how
2.
many D10 would you
Yes.
roll?
Yeah, I heard it was.
Have you seen the first one?
Arnold
That's below
Hasselhoff
damage.
is back.
So I saw
Fast
that,
bender.
Not
and
as-
I was
it's-
I need to
it's
watch
not
it.
as much
I
as it could
I
be.
actually sat down to watch it.
It is not as much.
So
as
remember, I
I
showed you the
actually
video,
did see it.
the music video. Hasselhoff did the music.
Try Sarah.
I do need a couple of these. I believe.
No, I can't. Excited. That's gonna be awesome. I gotta find it.
The
No,
trailer
I
is
just
so
need
good.
D8. I just need D8.
It's like 18
The
minutes
three
long.
D10s were, or the
It's like the
D10s were
first
just
trailer
for the
where it was almost
explosion
the
itself.
entire movie.
Yes. Which made it even better.
I'm sorry.
The D10s were for the explosion itself. The damage I have going
It's like-
forward from here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. I forgot to use my Eldritch Smite.
Parody. It's so good.
I had to
Even
use everything I
Hasselhoff
had
was in
before I
it.
died.
You have to.
On the bright side,
You have
even
a
though I
base and you're
have to
fine.
resist these, I do have a 21 AC until my next turn, or until I die, whatever.
You've got evasion, deflect, force.
I've been,
You might be the most survivable character here.
Yeah.
question I have is if we look at it from a physics perspective with both fire and force, and I'm only 1'7", if I pull in my limbs and do not allow the force, that actually means that I can survive this by using safe ball because force in and of itself has me to be. I can bullshit my way through this. I'm sure I can. Physics.
use physics if the first amount of damage prior to hitting a wall was not 125.
Damage is in the mind.
True
Um,
facts. True facts, true facts.
Wait,
Yeah.
how much damage?
So out of 18 d10, I rolled 125 damage.
Cool. Give me a minute. I can flex this. I can work with this.
You can get rid of 3 d10s worth because of the force.
Does
Because
he
I'll
have
say
to
the
do a
force
dex
was strong.
save?
God.
He's right next
I know,
to.
I'm
He could do one with disadvantage. I will not let him argue disadvantage because he is right next to the crystal with this explosion.
I want to argue that I'm exploding as well, so there's a counterbalance. Just saying.
You add to the explosion.
No, it's like a tank to turn it. Like I have just as much force. See, wait a minute. So there's 100. If I took my damage that I did and I went ahead and did that as though it was a ejaculate going across and the force coming back this way, and then we subtract from it, and then that I could still survive.
Sure.
Technically, if I could have rolled 30, I would survive with 1 hit point.
Sure.
Yes.
Reforms.
It's not a spell. There is no, it's not a spell.
This is
I
what
mean,
did.
if you want me to re-roll 18 d10,
I'm gonna pull this out of my daughter.
18 d10.
On the way out, I'm gonna divinely try to speak to my patron. 88.
This is Calypso. Please leave a message.
Wrap me in your slimy goodness.
Beep.
As she does that, I'm covered in slime. So now I'm resistant to fire. So now I'm gonna have that fire damage and I will live.
Mm-hmm.
If I can bullshit my way through that one.
She's got to receive it first.
121.
You can reduce a quarter of it.
I
So
live.
you might still, you'll still live, but your HP is going to be.
I'm at 1 hit point. I was trying just to
Yes,
get to 1 hit
I
point.
will let you stay at 1 hit point. Basically, so for story wise, this explosion basically blasts you back into Jiraiya's arms.
Oh, good. I'm at 0 hit points, and he has spared the dying with his massive cock.
Yes,
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm the
I'll
little thing
allow-
inside of him.
I'll
Oh.
say. I'll say. You know what? I will.
I didn't mean to say inside of him, but whatever. I guess it's.
His healing penis gives you 8 more points or get 8 hit points.
The hailing feeling.
I can feel his glowing presence deep within me.
So you at least have 8 hit points.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
And I am stunned for at least 3 turns. So let's be real. I
Yes.
am.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
thank you for your
People are so
lenience.
confused when we're going through our YouTube playlist. 27, 29, 30.
yeah. What happened on 28? Yeah. So you are fully stunned for the next 3 rounds.
I'm spit.
You guys. So because you caused this explosion early,
What do you mean?
So you haven't gotten anything.
how I said the effects happen on initiative 20 and 10, at the end of this round, the effects are going to start happening. And as I said, this affects everyone in a sense, dependent on where you guys are. Next is what I did with paper. So that was Fearin. Actually, it's literally the lab effect next. Nothing happens this round.
Damn.
Yeah, luckily, I rolled a 5. Nothing happens as of right now. We are back at the top of the list. So it is Sir Thomas. Your channel didn't get any views. I don't know how that's true because I watched part of the session. Oh, is this
You're not important.
Is this YouTube or is this?
This is YouTube Studio.
I watched it on YouTube like a week ago.
Yeah, I was checking to see if we got a.
Oh,
Any
okay.
content,
Okay. So
You'd have to
Thomas,
watch this for me to get banned.
Yeah.
We've already got 4 strikes.
you
The minute they
Well,
start,
at least you know.
this is where we get successful. They start watching
Yeah.
the old
Well,
stuff.
where
They're not to get rid of it.
I really need to see the map again before I.
right? Yeah. Well,
That's why we broadcast on Kick.
you feel
Maybe
the
we should do more shots.
explosion of the mana crystal.
Yeah, I do.
You thought that you were thinking that you were going to have a little bit more time to get out of here, but something happened. Something happened early. and you feel the explosion from the laboratory, and it rattles within this mountain. You guys are within this mountain. You feel it rattle. The walls are shaking. The floor is trembling. You see little bits of like rubble from the stone ceiling above you. Like little tiny rocks and dust begin to fall from the ceiling, and you see like minute fractures within the rock. You know that your time is getting a little bit more limited now. And you for above game, it's because this explosion happened early. But you need to get out of here quickly. But it is your turn.
As a bonus action, I'm doing my celestial transformation. I now have translucent wings
Okay.
and can fly, although I'm not gonna do anything with that yet.
Yeah.
I just want to have that because I have that for 1 minute, so.
Okay. Yep, that's fine. You'll have that
So-
for the entire
Right.
of the entire
Right.
duration of this.
Just in
because-
case that
Yeah.
might come in handy at some point.
Yeah, you'll have this for the
And
entire
about
duration.
how high up is the ceiling roughly?
Ceiling is about 20 feet high,
Yeah, okay.
so you'd have plenty of room.
Then
But
I'm
that was
going-
is that a
going to-
bonus action or
That is a
ability?
bonus,
Okay,
but I don't think I've used any of my bonus actions yet, so. I'm going to move down to,
like where rec deck is.
yeah,
So rec deck is over.
well, no, I'm gonna go in that hallway right before you get to rec deck.
Yeah, so there's rec deck.
Right.
So this one here.
Yeah,
Okay. What's your movement? You said 60.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I'm dashing as my action, so
Okay,
that'll
so
be
you're dashing.
120.
This is the worst day ever.
All right, so from where you're at to the door is 80. And another 40 will literally put you at that that hallway or that four-way hallway that you see. As I told Rec Deck before, there is a door right here. Your movement is just shy of the door, but you do see that it is another four-way hallway that banks left, right, and then there's this door. But you are just shy of this hallway, which is why I'm not revealing the rest of it yet. And that was your turn. Next is Warm. I will say that you are right on the edge of the laboratory. You're looking to start running, but the scales on the back of your neck bristle like hair on the back of your neck when something bad has happened. You feel. Go ahead and give me a. What do I want this to be?
It's your world.
I know. Give me a wisdom saving.
7.
7? Okay. You see out of the corner of your eye that the crystal has exploded. I will say that you don't. I will say that you do not take any damage from this, as you are outside of the range of what could possibly happen. Technically, physics-wise, any of the shards could potentially make it to you with the size of this explosion. After the light fades, because it's like a flashbang effect in a sense. It's just literally just phosphorus white. On the other side of the room, you see Fearon in this robot's arms. He is basically singed from what you assume was because of this explosion. He wasn't behind you. He wasn't behind you following. You are basically receiving the panic, like the fear effect in a sense. So for at the beginning of your turn, you can roll another wisdom saving throw to break through it. I'll say that the DC is 14 for it. If you want to, I'll write that down as well. At the start of your turn, you can roll a wisdom saving throw, DC 14, to break out of the feared condition. What this is going to do is any kind of checks that you do, whether it be athletic or acrobatics, just for temporarily, is going to have disadvantage on anything that might potentially happen. That is how that is going to work.
Okay, so disadvantage.
You're still obviously fleeing, so the other portion of fear is that you run in the opposite direction of what has caused you fear. It's already happening. But this is for how this is going to work, because obviously this is not combat related. It is now your turn.
Thank God you didn't use the other
Okay.
effect.
So,
Yeah.
do I hear any of the, considering I'm this close to the explosion,
Yes.
can I hear any of the voices from any of the other party members down the halls?
You hear a faint echo of Rectex screaming. You don't know where it's coming from because it is reverberating through the wall, but you have heard him. It's very faint, but panicky. And it's but you have no idea how far away it is, but you just hear Rectex just screaming in the distance.
Right. I don't know where it's coming from.
Yes. You're welcome, Rectex. I'm having so much fun with this.
Tell you
I
what.
mean, I'm assuming she saw him go.
Yes,
Left around
you
the
saw
corner.
Look go left as well.
Okay, so the Leo can go
Yes.
50 feet,
Yes.
and on Leo with me being on Leo, I'm stuck to his speed, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I will say the fear does not affect Leo.
Okay.
So if you just want to command Leo to do something in your stead,
Yeah.
he will be able to do it fine. However, obviously, if say for example, I don't know if this actually happens yet, it's dependent on story, but say like a support beam falls, obviously Leo, unless he polymorphs into like some kind of humanoid figure, he's not going to be able to lift up that support beam, but he could jump over the beam if it's at a certain height.
Okay.
So he could do that fine.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and
I honestly forgot that sound effect was still going off. It just kind of became white noise.
Oh, that'll be in my dreams tonight. I already freaking.
all right, so
You'd be waking me up. Brother, there's zombies all over the place.
I am
Evidently, yeah.
gonna urge Leo to get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
And we're just gonna go any random direction, which for my character would be right about here, which I think means about 50 feet there, if I did my math right.
That's 50 feet. Are you not having Leo do a dash?
I would like to do a dash. I wanted to make
Okay.
sure I could do that in addition. So I
Okay.
also want a dash,
Okay, you can do a dash.
which is another 50 feet.
I will say
yeah?
because you were because you were not with Rectech and Sir Thomas,
Yeah.
you do not know that the direction going. So when you're traveling the hallway, going right, so here, you do not know that this is a dead end.
Yeah.
But going forward, however direction you want to go.
I mean, you can see wreck on the other side.
Yeah,
Oh,
I will say that you
yeah.
see Wreck. When you get down here, you do see Wreck at the corner.
So-
Still screaming.
What I'm gonna do is, Rectech, where are you? And then I'm gonna take Leo down to the hall and like take a quick glance when I get down there to see if I can find Rectech.
You see Rectech at the end of the hall. Let's see how far that is.
And I think
It's 20,
50
so you
should
have
put me
another-
either here or here. I don't know if it's showing on there.
30, I think, actually puts you here. Because I think
Hey,
you were here, and then another 20 puts you where you're at the end of the hallway. And then another 30 puts you like right here.
I will go with your math. I'm fine with
I
that.
think. If it was 100 feet of movement, I think that's where you went.
Okay.
Um,
And I'm not gonna do anything else. I'm done for now.
okay. Look.
Running all the way down the hallway because I see that there's more room down there.
Okay. All right, so you make it all the way to the end of the hallway. When you bank around the corner, you see Rectech at the end of the other hallway. But you also see, from your perspective, you see two entrances on the left-hand side of this hallway, but you do not see if they're just hallways or doors at this point. Obviously, the map, you can see that they're doors, but from your perspective, you do not know what they are. And you were here. So you get a total of 80 feet with, I'm just gonna call it Witch Stomper. Actually, 80 puts you right here at the end of the hallway. So where you're at, that's 80 right there. But you see Rectech at the very end of the other side of the hallway.
I see him kind of waving about, and I just wave back.
You see him like, to you, he thinks he's waving. Rectech, you're just, ah!
I just stand up on the unicorn, just excitedly wave to him.
Yeah, exactly. Are you doing anything else? Because that was the dash action. Are you doing anything else?
Do something really stupid.
Whatever you
That's
want.
not new.
He already
You should
he
talk.
exploded a magic stone with
I
his
get
magic
plenty of
penis.
comments on Warren's decisions. So.
I know you do.
For
A
my
lot of
actions,
them, a lot of
not,
them for me.
companies.
Yes.
For good reason, usually.
Warren is not exactly.
I'm gonna take misery and try to very lightly hit company on the backside and change the mastery effect to push to get an extra 30 feet out of this.
That's because that weapon mastery, damn it. 2024 rules. Well, fuck it. It's in the weapon thing, so yeah, you can move another 20 feet, which will put you
30. I have 3
or sorry,
attacks.
30, yeah, sorry, 30. So 20 will put you at the entrance of the hallway.
Oh yeah, then 20 first.
Okay, so 20 here. Put you here, here. And you see a doorway. But it is closed. Like they're solid metal doors, but if you get close enough, they will open. Like an automatic door. But you'd have to see you'd have to actually go through the door to see what is on the other side.
Well, going in. Pop.
Okay. All right. So you walk through the door with another additional 2 feet of movement.
2 feet.
Or sorry, 10
That's a
feet.
strange movement.
10 feet. Sorry. You do see at the end of the hallway. I'll go ahead and open that up. So 10 feet will put you here. At the end of this hallway, you see that the hallway goes left and right again, but you can see the end, but it banks left and right.
As I entered the hallway, I say, "Hi, Rack!" And as I
Bye, Rec.
yeah, just bye, Rack, as I leave through the door.
Yeah, Rec, you see Oak just like, bye. And every kobold for themselves. All right, next is a layer effect. Or lab effect.
This is probably a good
Three.
thing.
Alright,
Three.
none of us will be injured.
So again, this affects everybody.
That already
Um,
happened.
I need a I need a DC 17 dexterity saving throw.
Sorry. What?
A DC 17 dexterity saving throw.
I meet.
Yeah, I failed.
You failed.
Oh, I failed.
Yeah, I don't know. 12.
Okay.
I got advantage
You-
on it, but no
you-
modifier.
18. All right. You 14. Sir Thomas.
12.
Sir Thomas. Okay.
17.
17.
Ooh,
What did you say? You figured-
Because I'm a monk.
This is true.
Oh my god.
The only reason I say it is because of that dexterity.
No,
Advantage.
That plus 9 helps.
on a
We
on
have
a
all of
3
Monday
for this
night
lab
with us.
effect, you see there are pipes that are running the full lengths of these hallways that are just brass. And you're starting to see like hairline fractures in them, and in a couple spots, some of them burst. And steam begins to start pouring out of them.
Oh,
Um,
Redneck's really screaming now.
Yeah, you see steam popping out of these, but these are like pinhole spots. You guys take, for those who saved, you take half of 11 points of fire damage. For those who failed, you take the full 11.
Thank God I
We
saved.
round up or round it down with half.
You round down.
Oh, I healed.
Technically, you're unconscious, right? Because you went down to 0.
It didn't give
points.
me-
He was just stunned,
Oh, stuff.
but I'll say that he still succeeded because he got a 17.
Cause it's a save, not a dodge.
Yeah.
It was half of what?
Half of 11.
So
If you
five.
if you
the entire
succeeded,
concept
it
of
was
what
a
a save
DC
is versus
17
magic, just think
So
about
I
it.
told 7.
of
Or
11.
6. Sorry.
Take
Because of the
five.
innate ability.
Yeah, you would take
Master Drive
5.
moved you.
I have
Through the
evasion,
players.
so
Just because I
even
had
with
to use a
failure, I get
dexterity
that.
saving throw
Right.
to make it make sense, whatever.
Um,
Tries like juggling around with them.
Yeah, you're already panicking, and then all of a sudden, because it's your turn. I will say for how things are progressing, you get to the corner. You get to the corner of this, and you see part of the pipe like starting to rattle. And as you're turning the corner, it's and you take a little bit of heat. You get a first degree
I
burn.
continue screaming as I go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 feet of movement to the store.
Okay.
I stop screaming, open the door, and then clear it.
Okay. So you open the door.
You screaming.
And you see that it exits all the way. It is another hallway.
Oh my god, that's gonna be awesome.
It's got another hallway, but it does lead into what kind of looks like a room, but you don't know if it opens up to anything else, as that is where you are at. You do see an end wall, but you don't see if anything goes left or right, or if it opens up.
Did the unicorns take any damage by chance?
I'm going to continue screaming.
I will say
Again.
that they just take 5. They'll get the same.
I'm going to immediately start screaming and wave my arms again and run down this hallway to here.
All right. When you get here,
Well, I guess I should go.
when you get in here, you see that it is another room. This one has a lot of extra like mana crystals. Obviously not as big as the one that was in this back room, but it's a lot of like smaller ones that looks like it would use for like conduits and kind of if you needed to daisy chain some energy off of this, that's what these were used for.
So I run into the room screaming, make a big looping turn without stopping, and just run back out the door or towards the door.
Yeah. How much do you have any more movement after
No,
that?
that's it.
Okay. All right. So you were here, I think, or you made it back to
No,
here.
When he
I
like
was there.
everybody.
Yeah, okay, sorry. Kieran, it is your
Yes.
turn. You are back in this hallway. This is where you're at. You saw Ook go all the way down to the end of this hallway here and make a right. No one has gone through the entrance that you see here on the left, but you did see Ook go make a right-hand turn at the end of this hallway.
He gave you a clue. You want to find the exit.
Yes.
Yeah,
Always split the party.
Always.
always split the party.
Which was great that you two went to go see Jiraiya. You two went to go after Spine Splitter, who is safe, and you two were in the laboratory fighting.
Sounds about right.
Tracks.
I'll go to the door.
To the door? Okay. So you go to the door, you open it up. You do similar to what I said with Rectech. You get here. You do see that it does open up to a far away wall. You do not know if it goes, you see that it banks left and right, but you don't know if there's any additional hallways after that. You just see that there's an opening.
And the alarm's still going off, so I'm gonna go ahead and continue passing the door out.
Okay, so you just pass the door?
Yeah,
Okay.
it don't look promising.
So that was here. You have 90 feet of movement.
Yes.
That's 40, so you have another 50. So that'll actually put you where Book was before. So you're at the end of this hallway. You do not see Book or Rectech in this hallway, but you do see 2 additional openings on the left side of this hallway, but you do not know if they're doors.
Okay.
You just see 2 additional headers. Fearin, you are in the arms of Jiraiya. I've also not been moving him. So I will say
He's immune to all damage. Just sick.
I will say that he moved closer to try and help you. He caught you.
I whispered to him, put me in my brother.
He's done.
Sure thing, little one. We got to catch up to him though.
Excellent.
And he basically starts running. Obviously, he is much bigger. Like I said, I'm going to actually make him actually a size bigger.
So the plan is to be inserted into you. We all have shared vision. I can now launch tentacles from inside of you.
So he runs all the way to
Just
this.
what you said.
Yeah, so he runs all the way to where he's about.
No, Hoboton.
Yeah, so he's all the way to almost to that 4-way intersection.
Yeah, that's the extent of what I can do because I'm, 2 more turns of whatever.
Yeah. Next is a lab effect. Oof, that is another 3.
Hell yeah.
DC 17, dexterity saving throws. Oh boy, that's a higher damage roll.
Good deal.
We're gonna hold off on you taking damage, please, because there might be something that happens with you.
Try this
Would,
sticks me in his butt.
What'd you get for your dexterity saving throw?
Oh, my dex.
Yeah. You go ahead and roll that.
And I got advantage, so that was a 16.
I'm sure you passed even with a 16 because you got your modifier to it.
I don't got
so
no modifier to.
Yeah,
I got,
dexterity
plus, I, got,
save.
I got a +0.
The
Okay.
dex save?
Huh?
The dexterity save?
Dexterity save is a +0,
Oh.
but I got an advantage on it though.
Yeah.
He's got a 0 on it. What'd you get on your
What's
second
your
roll?
dex?
19.
Okay, so
I
you
don't
passed. So
know.
you
I
take
don't
half
know
of
if
this.
Frank will take care of it.
What did you get?
9.
What'd you get, Rick? Jack?
28.
28. Okay. What'd you get, Sir Thomas? 21. Okay. For anybody who got above 17, you take half of 14 fire damage as pipes are beginning to expand. More steam is starting to be expelled from these. You take half of 14. If you did not save, you take the full 14.
Master Drive feels me in his arm.
That
takes
actually
a-
reminds me.
He takes a moment. Flashing back to the one time he experienced ED, he realized how lifeless the thing in his hands really is.
I will say, so Jiraiya is going to effectively protect you in a sense because he's bigger. You are still kind of stunned, but you don't know exactly what is happening. But you see basically out of the corner of your eye, it's still kind of like hazy. But you see part of his chest opens up, and he basically puts you in his chest.
Master Jiraiya is letting me into his womb.
Yeah.
I see
And
the
it-
vaginal
you are-
canal.
You are in his bosom. And then you see his chest reclose back up, and you are in darkness.
It's so
I
nice.
will
and
say
cozy.
for right now, you
So
do
much
not,
tighter than I thought it would be.
I will say that you do not take any fire damage this round. But if he takes another hit from the steam, it will obviously heating the metal as like heat metal. So if you will take damage if he gets hit by
Just
steam.
trying to get out of the stun so I can use cold tentacles. So
Yeah, I just got it all.
one of the tentacles
So they
come out
was
of your
17.
ass, but
Yeah, it's the steam thing again. Did you pass or fail?
Oh, I failed.
14 fire damage for this one. I rolled high on this one. We are back at the top with Sir Thomas. You
Alright.
are
I'm down at the
you're
bottom.
down here at this the 4-way in the hallway. You have the hallway going left and right, and you also have the doorway that has not been opened.
I will open the doorway.
All right, so you open the doorway.
you see a naked woman bathing. It's your mother.
Okay. You see that the hallway banks to the left at the end. You'll have to go down there.
Do that. I will go down there.
Okay.
Did you see anything in the section?
There was,
Oh, yeah, so he, when he passed the hallway, he did see that these were just hallways. There was, it just was, like, it had like old storage. I said that in that first room over here, that it had like, those old mana storage units. These are even, like, there are even more decrepit, broke down mana storage units in these hallways, far away from the laboratory. These things have so much dust on them, they have not seen the light of day in a long time. You see, Sir Thomas, at the end of this hallway, that it banks to the right.
all right, I will move the bank to the right.
Okay. I'm looking at this one. This one was fun because this one has a lot of curves. So you get here, you see that the hallway banks to the left at the very end. Let me see how much.
I think I have about 5 or 10 feet left.
30, 15, so that puts it at 45. You have a 220, you said?
Well, I didn't think of this until this turn. Opening the door, is that an action?
No.
Okay, then yes, I will dash, so I have 120 then.
Yeah.
Total.
Yeah.
So I will move
So
as
you have
far as
30
I
you have 34 feet left of movement when you get down to the end of this hallway.
I will move that 30, at least 30 of that.
Well, I'm saying when you get down here, you have 30 feet more.
Yeah. I will
When
move
you get
that.
down to the end of this,
Okay.
um,
Now that works. That makes sense.
reveal. You see that this hallway extends really far. Oh, dang it. Hold on. There's something we have. You see that this hallway extends extremely far to the point where it's like the end of the hallway is starting to kind of how it's that optical illusion. It's like closing at the very end, so you can't quite see the very end of this hallway. So I'll say that is as far as you see on the map, but you don't see any additional. You don't see any additional intersections. So I will say that you've got another 30 feet. I will say, are you going down this way or are you going?
I will
back
go
up?
as far as I can.
All right, so you are there.
Excellent.
Warren,
I needed help.
go ahead at the start of this turn. Go ahead and roll
Yes.
a DC 14 Wisdom save.
And that's with disadvantage, right?
No, it's just normal.
Get a new set of dice.
Nada.
Okay, so you're still
Also,
here.
give me one
You
second,
still obviously are
because,
flying away.
move her.
You're running as fast as you can. You are. Figure out where you are at.
This just screwed me from the time I'm done for now.
Where are you?
Thanks, Zach, for that.
You're at you're at the bottom portion of here. You are down here. You saw Rectech go up at the end of this hallway. You saw him at the end of the hallway. Then he went north.
Okay. Did I see Sir Thomas turn?
Yeah, you saw Sir Thomas make a right hand turn. You have not seen him return back. He died. What happened to him? He died.
Okay, so the first thing Warren's gonna do is go, where did everybody go? God damn it. And then she's gonna, let's see, I saw Rectech go north.
Yeah, you saw Rectech go north at the end of this hallway here.
All right.
Why did I close all the doors?
Might have been
Keep
me.
clicking on it.
Because you weren't born in a barn.
Well, when I double clicked to show the location, it closed all the doors.
I'll teach you.
Okay.
Lock us all in. And we're all prisoners.
I'm gonna move, Warren's gonna use Leo, the third,
Okay.
and scoot up 50 feet right here.
Okay. I will say when you pass this hallway, you see
Yeah.
that there is there are two sets of doors. They're both open. And you can see all the way down to here with that hallway, and that it banks still left. But you do not see Sir Thomas in this hallway. You just know that he went down here.
First ones you want.
So you know Sir Thomas went south, and you know that Rectech went north.
Can I make an investigation check just to see what outside of just that, like if I hear anything else from anywhere, or do you feel like?
Give me a perception check.
Okay.
Would be a disadvantage because she's
No.
not really paying attention to here.
11.
Actually,
I can re-roll if you need me to.
I'll say that 11 was okay. You hear Rectech like 30 feet away from you screaming.
Okay. So
Oh,
I'm
that
gonna
just helps fear. That just helps the fear continue fearing.
Yes, the fear is continuing. You hear him screaming.
okay.
Yeah, I found a source of fear.
I'm done because I
It's
have a
right.
feeling Rectech might have heard me screaming.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
done
you're
for now.
screaming. Rectech is screaming. Yours is more panicked. His is, you don't know this, but his is more kind of a joke, but panicky. Okay. Look.
I'm running.
Okay. Are you running to the end of this hallway?
No, I'm running back out. Yes, I'm wait.
All right, so you get to the end of this hallway. You see this hallway goes left and right. Same thing with how I explained to Rectech. You see that the one that is north of you, you can see the ending wall in that it looks like a room kind of opens up, but you don't know if anything extends further. To the south of you, you see this hallway banks to the left.
Going in just enough to see if the top part's a room.
You get up there, you see that it is a room.
No doors.
No doors.
Nope, other way.
Okay.
Wrong turn.
When you get down to here, you see that there is a hallway that fully extends to the east. It stops, and then there is another hallway that goes to the left. So we keep track. This is round 4.
I'm gonna run the last 10 feet movement that I have.
Okay. Okay. So that was Oak. It is another X4. Okay. I need a. Well, these will be dex checks. This is only going to affect your movement the next round. It is not a. Well, you don't need to do it yet. What happens is that a lowered support beam begins to fall from the ceiling. It gets about 10 feet. It gets 10 feet down. As I said, the ceiling is 20 feet high. Most of you are. I will say that it varies on what it is. I will say a couple of these beams go 10 feet. A couple of these go 5 feet. So when it comes to your next turn and you're moving up to it, you're going to have to do either an athletics or an acrobatics check. You're going to have to do either an athletics check or an acrobatics check. The athletics check is to basically raise the beam or just full on barrel through this beam. And the acrobatics check is to either jump over or slide under. If you fail your check, it will be a minus 15 feet to your movement. But this will be next turn.
Oh man, that'll be.
Yeah, this will be next turn. It is Recta. I'm trying to move as fast as I can to get it through this. Trying to barrel through.
No. The combination.
You did hear Warren screaming, and when you moved, you see her at the end here.
So I'm gonna move. I'm gonna immediately take a left to go back towards where I know Sir Thomas was at.
Yes,
Or at
you do
least-
not see him.
Yeah. I'm gonna run out of the room screaming, turn to the left, screaming, and I see as I approach Warren at the corner, I'm gonna stop screaming and say, "Dead end, wrong way." And as I pass her, I'm gonna continue screaming again.
Okay.
That's 50 feet, and then
And then when you get to this hallway, you see 2 open doors. It banks to the left. You still do not see Sir Thomas yet.
I'm gonna do the rest of my movement to here, and then would I know if I use my psychic teleportation, if I'm holding onto my horse, brings him with me?
Like your shadow?
Well, that or
You
my.
can use your shadow. You can use your shadow movement.
Are there shadows in these
Yeah.
hallways?
No, they're not fully lit. I mean, just for here, it looks like it's fully lit up, but it's like if it was like low light.
Mostly.
As of right now, when you guys came in here, it was fully lit up, but because of the explosion, how how like explosions happen in like movies and stuff. It goes into like a low pulsating light, and it is kind of dim. I will say that there's enough light to still see, but whenever those lights kind of black out for a moment, it's almost full darkness. So you have, whenever it like goes full darkness, you could use this shadow step ability, and you get another 60 feet of movement.
And I can bring my horse with me when I
Yes,
do?
I will say that you can bring your horse with you because he is technically considered a summoned mount,
Okay.
so it is a part of you.
So I shadow step down the hallway.
You shadow step literally 10 feet behind, or about 15 feet behind Sir Thomas. You see him in this hallway.
Oh shit. Okay.
I think that's 60 feet because you were like right here.
Let's see what we can.
No, I was
Right here?
I was at the intersection.
Oh, you were at the intersection. Right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like dead center of that intersection.
Okay, so you're actually
Prepare to die.
right about here then with the 60 feet of movement. You see that the hallway banks left, and that there is not, it doesn't go right, it just banks to the left. You still do not see Sir Thomas at this point.
I'm still screaming.
So you stopped for a brief second, told Warren, this is a dead end, and just kept going again. Kieran,
Yes.
it is your turn now.
All right.
You are at the end of the hallway. You did not see Ook make a left-hand turn. I will say that you did see, you see Warren at the very end of the hallway, but just barely. Like you see her on her unicorn at the very end of this hallway. And you saw Rectech run out of the second hallway screaming, stopped, started screaming again, and then continued going west. You do not see this door as it is past your field of view, but you saw him come out of this door and go south and down here. But you do not know where Ook is.
I left.
Okay, so I'm mad dash 90 feet down to him, trying to catch up with him.
Okay. Actually, let me see how that is. Because literally your 90 feet of movement puts you right next to Warren.
Awesome.
Warren, do you say anything to him as he approaches you? Fully barreling down this hallway. Just
Hang on, I gotta catch my breath now.
That way.
Okay. Well, you have no more movement, but you at least now know that it is the direction that
I think we
Ook
should
went.
stick together.
Oh, Rectech went. Yeah, I think we should stick together. Fearin, you are. So I will say for the first round, you were stunned. I will say that you can roll out of this. Like if you want to do a dice roll, you can roll out of the stunned effect for this one, so that you're not stunned for 3 rounds.
16.
16. All right, you are no longer stunned, but you do know that you are in kind of like a metal casing. You assume that you are inside Jariah's like chest, his bosom. The way that this will work, because you guys are a little bit behind, obviously from everybody else. You can assist Jariah. I don't know if you want to use any kind of like magic or like to empower him. You can give him an additional 20 feet of movement, but it's going to basically be like you are puppeting this giant robot. He already has 80 feet. You can give him an additional 40 feet by just basically overloading the system for a moment.
Oh. I was gonna cast reversed borrowed knowledge, so you would have my ability to use my speed.
Well, I'll say that that's how that works.
That's awesome.
So
Well, what is your speed?
45 until I start doing my monk things, and then I got 170.
170?
Yeah.
I will say that you can add this to his 80. You have 250 feet of movement.
Then we go ahead and we burn that, we share. Master Jariah and I have become part of him, both as his heart
Turns into
and his soul. I can feel the energy welling up inside of this tight bosom. I can feel his knowledge enter me, and I enter him.
Oh my God. 90, 50. So 150 of this movement will put you literally standing right next to Warren and Kieran.
I don't stop.
I know. If you were to go north, that is 30.
Just like Master Jiraiya taught me, always circle.
Gotta see if the food's
Like an
done.
excited
150.
puppy.
If you went the other direction, it would be the top right corner where Kieran
Right.
was. And then you still have another 100 feet to play with wherever you want to go. So wherever you want to go, I will say if you go south, you can get directions from them. If you go
So because we all
north,
have shared vision, I take this moment while I'm going through as I am one with Master Jiraiya. We have enlightened, we have risen to the next level. And I'm going to use my ability to envision all of them at once in both an orgy and to find my Sir William. Because that is where I need to be.
kind of like a foresight ability where you see him, but there's like everything else is obscured in vision, and it's just like everything is passing by so fast, but he is a central point.
That's it.
You know that if you're
Flash
honing in on him, and his location.
Sir Will.
Let me see how
Oh,
far you actually get with this. So 20,
Oh my God, poor Thomas.
60, that's 80.
I forgot that it was like
80, that's
Been a long
160.
Yeah, not wrong, calling it Cyril.
You gotta bring that guy back. That is BC.
60. Well,
I can't.
230.
Oh,
With the
Will.
250 feet of
If I would give
movement,
me to break my oath.
with the 250 feet of movement, you are
So there will be a
right
homicide.
next to Rectic.
Oh, Sir Thomas hears this.
By the way, I think I sent the wrong person when I was doing this, and I enlarged the person. You're with Robot, so I need to move Robot back to the left and bring Jiraiya with you.
So
I didn't
I.
realize when I was moving all these things.
So what you're
Jiraiya
saying
was
is that I entered Robin against his will.
Yes.
There was no consent, but he was. That's why he was so tight. Master Jiraiya is more loose than this.
But
He
yeah,
doesn't master.
you see Rectic. But that was your turn.
Yeah.
Another effect happens. Maybe. It was a 1.
That was a good one. We live.
All right, so the floor cracks. The floor begins starting to crack, and the ground kind of shifts, so it could potentially be a trip hazard while you're running. So you already have a beam in front of you guys for when your next turn as you guys are running. DC 15 dexterity saving throw. If you fail, it is considered half speed. And so it's rough terrain, but it's just half speed in mechanics. So whatever your speed is initially, it is halved. And if you fail your check to get past the beam, it is another minus 15. What did everybody get?
28.
28, you're fine. What did you get, Sir Thomas?
Dex save.
Yeah, dexterity save DC 15. It's pretty simple. This one. You failed? Okay.
My even
18.
18, you passed.
14.
14? Okay. So you're going to have halved speed. And then when we get to it on your turn, you'll have to do either an acrobatics or an athletics check to either just barrel through this support beam that has fallen or an acrobatics to jump over it. Now, I will say that because you're small and you can kind of like get as close to Leo as possible if you want you have them jump over. So that is how that will work. What did you get?
We're using the full stab blocks with the unicorn, right?
Yep.
Mine's gonna use a legendary resistance.
Fuck's sake. Okay.
I was gonna say, he's said that multiple times now, but you guys have been nice about it.
Does this kind of strike me?
Yeah,
All right.
I think it does.
You save.
I didn't say.
You didn't save.
No,
Okay. Same thing. You'll have the
We've
just
broken
have movement. So it'll just be
45?
Yeah, it'll just be 45.
What if I go 20 feet up in there?
You go 20 feet up in the air. Obviously because your horse doesn't fly. You
Yeah.
can get off your horse and like and then just fly.
Ties a rope to it, starts flying.
Right.
You
Yeah.
got 50 feet of rope there.
Yeah, this will not affect you if you choose to do that. This will not affect you. So you will not have halved movement. Next, it is back up to the top of the round. It is Sir Thomas, actually.
All right. I will stay on the ground for now. I will move to wherever the beam is, even though I have half the movement
It is
speed.
it's a very simple. The check is 15. The DC is 15, but it is either a athletics or acrobatics, whatever you want to use.
Down the mountainside.
Most of you,
I
I
think
will
you're
say that
singing
you've got
something else.
most of you guys are near an exit.
All right, I failed the athletics check.
If you're brave enough,
Most of
exit
us?
is an entrance.
Yeah, most of you.
So
I feel like I'm
how
going
many
another
feet was
wrong
it
way.
from where I started to the beam?
The beam was basically right in front of you,
Right
is
in
how I
front
say.
of me.
So if you're basically trying to
So-
either barrel through it or move it out of the
Okay.
way. You can still get past it, even
It'll
with a
just-
fail.
I will just lose 15 more.
It's just 15 feet of movement. Even if you take a dash, you take 15 feet off of that. So you can
Okay.
still move 105 if you do your dash. I think it was 120 you get, or was that your mount speed?
No, the mount speed was 60, so then I double that with the dash.
Yeah,
So, okay, so if I could still get 115,
105.
105, excuse
Yeah.
me, yeah. Then yeah, I'll move as far as I can.
Okay, so 105 puts you here.
So we all have shared vision. Does that
Yes,
mean
you
we
all have
get
shared
my hunt? So that means you all get my devil sight then for 120 foot of
Yeah.
shared pure sight.
Okay, so you don't have.
All right. So where you get here,
Cheating.
let me see, I can reveal. All right, so you get another 105 feet. You see that the end of this hallway opens up, and it opens up into a rocky terrain. This is the exit, or this is one of the exits.
All right.
And Warren's still
And
stuck
what
inside.
round is this? 5?
This is 5.
Okay.
And they have how many rounds?
10. So,
I didn't realize they could all move this much. I was thinking because I forgot about their horses when I was making this map, and that they have so much speed. And I'm like, when he said, "Yeah, I've got 124 movement," I'm like, I think just to get around the square, like to just the top part of the squares, is like 120.
Mhm.
Is everybody noticing that the portion of this map looks like a circuit?
Yeah.
Like a,
And I was talking about arcane circuits and stuff. Didn't DM fun. But yeah, so you see that it opens up into a large area. Like you actually can see the sky at this point, and it looks like this is an edge of a mountain, like the mountain that has been carved out.
I will. If I have any way of communicating with
sorry,
them,
Robert.
Yes.
Yeah,
yeah, I will say,
you have your wrist
exit,
devices.
exit ahead of me, right? I see an exit. or
Yeah,
something
you
like
guys
that.
have your wrist devices. I gave you literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all have
seven.
8s.
So this is the only reason for them.
Duke turned it off thinking it was the voices.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about how to use that stupid device for the longest. Like after they're going, yeah.
So you guys all hear that. Do you give them any specific directions, or is it just exit ahead of me? Because Warren wouldn't know where you went. She didn't see you at all.
And I have no way of knowing where the rest of them are.
Yeah, you don't know where the rest of them are.
So I don't know that I can really
Okay.
direct them.
All right. I will say, Rec Deck, you do know where Sir Thomas went. So if you want to communicate to anybody else via that, you can give them some additional directions. But that was all that Sir Thomas said, is that he sees the exit. It is Warren's turn.
All over the ground. Okay, so the first thing I need to roll for my
Fear,
condition,
DC
right?
14.
Take the right when you hear a screaming in your cat.
Remind me what I'm adding to that. Sorry.
With
Wisdom.
Thanks. Took me a second. 16.
you break out of it. So you are
Thank
no
you.
longer feared. Nothing. So any kind of checks are no longer at disadvantage. So you still have a support beam in front of you.
Yes.
You can do whatever check you want to acrobatics or athletics to break through this or avoid it. And it is as normal. So it is just a DC 15 check.
I'm gonna do acrobatics with
Okay.
Leo. Jeez.
Okay.
All the names.
Leo Paragon the third.
But Leo was Leo the third. I'm gonna go ahead and try to jump over that. What am I adding to this?
I think you said you were jumping over, so it's
Yeah.
acrobatics or athletics, whatever Whatever
Jumping
you're
is
using
active.
for Leo's stats, but it's just a DC 15 for both.
I'm assuming that it's
I'm gonna go internal.
strength, right? Or dexterity.
The alarm.
Oh, that's still going?
Oh my God, yes, it's still going.
Yeah.
Acrobatics is dex.
Thank you. I was trying to figure it out.
Very good.
That's an
It's been
8.
going on the entire time.
Yeah. Like I said, at some point it just kind of turned into white noise.
That's an 8.
An 8.
You work
Okay.
in enough
So you
factories,
only
you
take
hear
a
enough of
minus
those things, like, what
15.
is the,
To your movement.
they said they'll repair
So you
it in
can
a
still
week.
have
3
movement, you
weeks
can still do a
later.
dash.
Okay.
But it's just a minus 15 to whatever you did.
Now, I have a question about that.
Okay.
Is this to my movement or is this to
Well,
Leo's
since you're
movement?
on
That's
Leo's,
where my
it's
job
Leo's
now, I
movement.
go and figure what it was looking, I cut
Okay,
If
so,
it was
the
you,
wire, the
it would,
speakers and put it back,
it
like,
would be a minus.
there we go.
15.
so I can move 50 feet with
which I have done to fire
all of the
panels
changes
at this
on
point.
the speed. Because it's
What
half.
is-
It's still
What is your
alerting the
max?
police, I just don't have to hear the alarm.
Mine
What
is
is, what
40.
is, sorry, what is
Leo's is
Leo's
50.
speed?
Leo's is 50.
50, if you take a
85.
dash, it's 100, so then it would only, you'd still have 85 feet of movement to play with if you did the dash. If you didn't do the dash, then it would be 35.
Okay, see, I'm taking off 15. That's right. Okay, sorry, guys.
Because you're basically just trying to get past the beam. And it's considered rough terrain for that. Technically, it should be half of the total speed, but trying to get you guys out of here. Get 15
So
minutes.
you said 85, right?
Yes, it'd be 80, it would be 85. Which
Okay.
you saw Ook go south. Yeah, I know.
I went south?
Or no, not Ook. Rectech went south.
What is your fascination with me today?
I am trying to do this as quick as possible. I did not realize it was going to take as long.
We had movement.
Yeah. And this is without combat. This is just effects.
Mhm.
You almost died.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take my dash.
Okay.
Well, I could have dashed
so
all
then
the
you
way
have
through
80
and been
feet.
out the door on
You
time.
said 80 or 85?
85.
Okay, fine.
I didn't want to.
And me and Leo are gonna bust through these doors and get up here because with the 85, I think I
You
get
catch
up
up
there.
to, yeah, you catch up to, well, you don't see Fearin, but you see an android and Rectech,
Okay.
a very large android. But is that your turn? Okay, look,
As we approach the beam, I'm gonna have company throw me at the beam to use my athletics to try and break it.
okay,
Jesus.
This is gonna be.
DC 15.
Fuck. Yeah, no, I didn't pass.
So it's still just a minus 15 to your speed.
All right, so
Because you are no
50,000.
longer on company, it is a minus 15 to your speed.
Cool.
But you can have company come up to you, use part of his speed, and then whatever you have left. I will say it was a 10 feet that he threw you, minus 15 to whatever your speed is. So he has 50, so 40 plus whatever you have left. And you still technically could take a dash with company.
So wait,
Yeah, so you could go 80. That's how that math works. Okay. All right. So 80 feet, you get to here, that's 35 at the intersection. You see that it opens up into another hallway. Left, it looks like the room that you were just in, kind of like the dead end. But south, it turns into it goes left.
I don't trust the rooms anymore. I'm going south.
Okay. You actually get down to the end of this hallway.
I have a problem with the seat now.
You get down to the end of this hallway. You do see a door. But nothing through it. Like I said, there are two exits. But that is your turn. I'll go ahead and roll one more time for this. I got a 5, so nothing puts on that one. Rectech.
Yes.
You are where you are at. Obviously, you have turned everything off. Because you can see,
I can see how much.
yeah, you can see on yours. You
Move
see-
me 120 feet as far as I can.
Yeah. Yep. Is keep on.
Screaming the whole time.
At this point, you do see Sir Thomas. He's probably about 50 feet ahead of you, but you did hear him say over the device.
Are there shadows further down?
Yeah, it's still blinking, so you can still do the 60.
So I'm screaming, running down the hallway. When the lights turn off, when they turn back on, I'm gone. The flicker again, and I'm 60 feet further.
You are right behind Sir Thomas.
And you hear me, and I reappear screaming still.
Sir Thomas, you heard screaming in the distance.
If he's
And then
within 10
in
feet
a-
of me, unless if you're screaming is totally just an act, you wouldn't be screaming.
Partially.
It's partially.
I'm not
He's
suffering-
not actually feared.
Yeah, I'm not suffering from fear.
Yeah, he's just panicking on his own.
It's role play screaming.
Yeah. Kieran, you are still technically where Warren was at the intersection. You still have to follow behind everybody, but you have to make a DC 15. I didn't make you do a DC 15 check. Oh well. Like I said, I'm trying to get this to hurry up.
Okay.
I'll say that part of the shadow movement was that you shadowed and then you used your.
I was gonna say, basically, if I was barricaded, I was either gonna
Yeah.
psychically teleport or shadow step through it.
So just a DC 15, either athletics or acrobatics, whatever works for you.
Oh, a DC 15. Oh,
Just a check. It's
Yeah.
either athletics or acrobatics.
That's my favorite.
We're trying to make it a simple
was very
DC. It's only
true.
15, and you guys all got
Since I was
really
alive at that
high
time, when I
abilities.
was a teenager.
Well, I
in
have
the late
plus
80s.
11, but disadvantage. So
I was
I'm
living
still
in LA
rolling.
at the time.
Oh, there
I
it
couldn't
is.
believe that was true.
did I do it right?
You got a 20. Oh, so you're
Okay, you got a 20? Okay. You have your full speed. So you have your full 90 feet of movement.
Okay.
15, 60. All right, you are right next to. You are actually right next to Jiraiya, and well,
where
you
I
don't
was
see
walking.
your brother, but you are right next to Jiraiya. So,
Okay.
so
So
if you want to hop on Jiraiya for the rest of the speed, you can certainly hop on his back.
oh heck yeah.
Check through.
As he jumps on, July moves.
Yeah, Jiraiya. It's like, what? Because if he
Hey,
does
check
if he does again what he did, he's got 250 feet of movement. He can get out of this place.
Oh yeah.
All right. And it's your turn. So if you decide to do that, you literally run past.
Ready? Switch the wind. Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, you're out of here. You run past with you kind of feel a shift in the body because you felt your brother kind of jump on Jiraiya's back, hitching a ride.
We've
and
done
you
this
three,
before.
Yeah, you three book it past Sir Thomas and Recdeck screaming. It's muffled to you because you're inside of Jiraiya's bosom, but and you are into the opening. With that, I'll do one more roll to see if anything happens because only people. It's just another beam, but I'm not gonna make you do that because Warren, you're right behind him.
Okay.
It's Book and Warren still have their movement. So I'll just say that the rest of you guys are out, or at least close to out. Warren and Ook, I'll say if you just want to use your turn to just bust through the door, you technically on your way to an exit because I'm going to try and end this quickly. If you go through the door, your exit is there. Warren, you take your basically the next 2 turns. You're going to get out of here as well. You're just following behind them. You guys all make it out of there, and as you last 2 of you, Recdeck, Kieran, you guys are Kieran. I'll say that you a little port in Jiraiya's chest is open up because you're trying to watch, like, to make sure everybody gets out. You're seeing, you're seeing Warren literally on Leo the Third sprinting as fast as she can with rubble falling from the ceiling like a cave in. We're getting slowly closer and closer and closer.
I'm just running in circles on my screaming entrance.
Look, you go through the door and you go out this exit, but you do not see any of your friends. You made it safe. Same thing. Just basically started. None of you guys see. None of you guys see Spine Splitter, and none of you guys see the rope.
Ooh.
I hope not.
We are going to end it there, obviously, with how the time is. But you guys do not see Spine Splitter. Do not see the robot as of right now. But you guys have made it out of the lab.
That might be because his token's invisible.
No, his token was on the map. He
It
was-
has the invisible condition, so we can't see it.
Oh, okay.
So I do have a question. As we all start to gather out there, can I just say, oh, so that went well?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, I agree with that.
I am going to look at everyone other than Rec Deck and say, what did you do?
Yeah, Rectech's the only one aside from Spine Splitter that who's actually innocent in this.
For once.
For
I'm
once.
innocent too, because I'm just doing a lot of running.
Do anything.
Didn't do anything. Bye, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and end it there. Obviously this wasn't much like role play, but we'll get into the role play and like storyline of the next session. But I just wanted to have a little bit of fun because Ook and Warren decided to wrestle in scientific equipment.
He blamed
There was
me. I
plenty of
had to get my
role-play.
revenge.
There was.
Okay?
I took that crystal and I showed that mommy that I was
Yes,
daddy.
You did.
In our
Yes, you
defense,
did.
we could have gotten superpowers.
Jesus.
Yeah.
How?
Radiation.
I never said it was
No,
radiation.
Almost every superpower is gained from accidents in a lab.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
That's fair,
Yes,
actually. Hold
yes,
on.
yes, yes.
Are you signing
If
off?
not, we would have gotten diabetes or something.
Are you signing off?
What about the workforce you were talking about?
No, he's not.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching Nat One Nonsense. I apologize. I get
Are you
distracted
signing off?
very easily. Thank you for watching Nat One Nonsense and catch us on the flip side. You guys have a good night.
Bye.